Today on Herndon Live, we'll discuss the Pope coming to the United States and what this means for Catholics and people all around the world.
Also, Jack, you went to the football game last week to do our new segment of Jack Asking. Also, we welcome new talent, Kelly Pingator.
Those stories and more as Herndon Live gets underway. Hello and welcome to Herndon Live on this Friday afternoon. I'm Jack Norcross alongside Mark Seaman. Mark, how are you today?
I'm fine.
And we have some major stories going on right now, but let's begin first with the breaking news. And breaking news right now, John Boehner has just resigned as of this afternoon. John Boehner is the Speaker of the House. That is obviously the representatives out of the House of Representatives in who are a part of the of Congress. And Mark, this is a big deal because a lot of people didn't expect this. You know, the party is pretty successful right now when it comes to Congress, and many people didn't see him leaving right at this point. What's your immediate reaction to this?
Well, John Boehner has been considering retirement, and this isn't a new thing. He's been considering it for a while. And the Pope's visit, yeah, I can't find the words. Affected, yeah, like almost in a way, kind of accelerated this decision almost.
Yeah, so he was very emotional yesterday when the Pope came to the Capitol. He talked to the Pope one-on-one, and the Pope said some very crucial words to him, and he said it was a very sentimental moment and that it was a really heartfelt moment, and he seemed very emotional, Mark,
yes,
when the Pope was giving his speech to Congress, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in the show. And also it seemed as though he was emotional, you know, just when the Pope went out on the balcony of the Capitol to say hi to lots of different people, which was very interesting. Now, the process, Mark, is that he's going to resign at the end of October, and he is going to step down, but I believe he's still going to be a Ohio representative. But then the next process is that the Republican Party is going to need to nominate another Speaker of the House. Is there anyone who's standing out at this point?
As a Republican?
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. But anyone in Congress right now, Mark? Not thinking about...
I don't know any specific congressmen.
Do you think that this will take a long time? He said one of the reasons he resigned was because the turmoil within the party. Do you think this is going to cause turmoil and a lot of aggression in trying to find someone to nominate for Speaker of the House?
It could cause like some type of conflict. I wouldn't use the word aggression, although when it comes to competing for a seat of office, people tend to get very nitty-gritty and try to like do everything they can to get that position. But I think it won't take extremely long, like it won't take as long as it would to get a president, like in order to elect a president. But it will take some time, and there will be blood.
Right, yeah, well, we don't know about actual blood, but Mark, it's a very interesting and a surprise to many, which is fascinating. But this is breaking news just as of this afternoon, which is very interesting. But as we mentioned before, another significant figure who is in Washington is the Pope in the United States, which is a very important event that has happened. Right now, the Pope is participating in a parade in Central Park, New York this morning. The Pope spoke at the United Nations earlier today, and he held a multi-religious service at the 9/11 memorial, which is pretty interesting. And as for his plans tonight and into tomorrow, the Pope will hold a mass at Madison Square Garden, obviously the huge arena in New York. And tomorrow he will leave to head to Philadelphia, and he will hold mass at the World of Families meeting, which is very interesting. But I know a lot of people, Mark, went down to go see the Pope in D.C. While he was in D.C., he met with the president at the White House and paraded around the ellipse by the White House, held a mass at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, and spoke before a joint session of Congress, which we were talking about, and why John Boehner was so emotional, which was very interesting. What kind of effect do you think the Pope has had, not only on Catholics, but people from around the country since he's coming to the U.S.?
Well, the Pope is not only a religious leader, he's also, in a way, a political leader. Him addressing Congress, in a way, has kind of opened people's eyes to a variety of different topics. Like, he brought up the refugee crisis, he brought up poverty, he brought up, like, more sensitive issues. I think that with the Pope now having addressed these, and to not just Catholics, but to pretty much everybody, this has kind of inform some people of what's really happening and what needs to be solved.
Yeah. So, very interesting point there. I know security has been a big concern since the Pope has been here. How do you think the Pope has performed? How do you think the security is held up? I mean, he pulled up, Mark, in a Fiat. He landed in D.C. and pulled up in a Fiat. Is that safe security practices?
Well, even though it may not seem like it's men in armor, like armed to the teeth and like bulletproof vests, they had been prepping security for roughly a week before he arrived because he is such a big figure, and there was once an assassination attempt on another pope several years, like a couple decades earlier. So far, the security has proved it to be very well. Nothing's happened to the Pope. He's been out with the people, but he's also been kind of like tucked away, safe.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So very interesting. He goes to Philadelphia tomorrow. They are most worried about the security there, since that city is not used to having such big figures. Do you think that'll have an effect on Philadelphia?
The security, well, Philadelphia, it is a big city, but it's not as big of a city as New York, and that's why they're used to like mass amounts of security. I'll say that for the time that the Pope is there, and maybe for a day or two after he leaves, and probably several days before he goes to Philadelphia, it'll be a shift for average Philadelphians, because, you know, traffic, some lanes will be closed, you can't go here, you can only go through there. This area is closed off, etc. So it'll be a temporary shift, but then I think once the Pope leaves, everything will come back to normal.
Right. And so the Pope is leaving, and I mean, it's been a great presence. I mean, a lot of people have been excited. A lot of people took off from school, and a lot of people took off from work, not only because they wanted to go see the Pope, but also caused a lot of traffic congestion in D.C.
Yes.
And, I mean, do you think that the traffic is worth it for people who got to see the Pope?
I believe it was worth it because if you really want to see something, this is probably going to get sentimental, but if this is something that you really wanted to see, I believe it is worth it. I mean, I believe you can put up with a couple of hours of being stuck in a car, a really hot car, to see the person who you idolize. Yes, I believe it's worth it.
Very interesting.
For those who were just stuck in the traffic, I feel sorry for you.
Well, yeah, a lot of traffic and a lot of congestion. Finally, let's talk about the go back to politics a little bit. The presidential debate, the Republican presidential debate, was last week, Mark, last Wednesday, in fact. And since then, Scott Walker has dropped out. Scott Walker was in third place for a period, third place for a period of time.
Yes.
Were you surprised when you heard that Scott Walker was out of the race?
I would have been surprised. I can't say I was completely surprised because I am aware that Scott Walker was pretty high. I believe he was, correct me if I'm wrong, he was maybe even #1 for a very brief time.
Before the latest debate, yeah.
Yeah, before Trump came in and trumped everybody. But I'll say that now it wasn't as much of a surprise because he was like pretty much at the bottom of the barrel, and it was only a matter of time because before the guy who dropped out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He was so minor, I can't even remember his name.
Rick Perry.
Rick Perry, thank you. So now it's not surprising. I mean, Scott Walker, it's kind of almost in a way to see like how far he's fallen, and now he's out.
Because he was, before the debate, he was maybe at 5, 6, 7%.
Yeah.
After the debate, less than 1%, which is a a drastic change.
Yes. So he's fallen and he's out, and I believe other people will.
What
follow.
point in this race is are other candidates going to drop out? Is it the lowering poll numbers?
It's
because at a certain point, it doesn't become worth it to start investing all this money in a campaign that may just not go anywhere.
It's pretty much poking a dead body. I mean, the top numbers are, in no general order, Trump, Fiorina, Rubio.
Carson's up there,
and
too.
Carson, too. Yeah, everyone else will start to kind of trickle down, and it will just kind of be between those 4 or 5, and then they'll start getting cut.
Who should we be looking toward? Who do you think is going to have the biggest surprise? Who do you think is going to be the next person to be up there with Trump? And it could be, Fiorina or Carson or Rubio.
Yes.
But who do you think is going to really make a move for themselves and start gaining a lot in the polls?
In my opinion, I think it might possibly be Rubio or even Fiorina, because now I think people are at this point now want to look at like a different opinion.
Right.
Like, all right, what do other people who aren't politicians have to say about it? That's why Carson, Fiorina, and Trump are up there.
Very interesting. All right, Mark, thank you so much, and I appreciate that. I want to now turn over to our new correspondent, Kelly Pingatore. She is live in the Weather Center for us. And Kelly, what can we expect? A little drizzle today we saw, which was pretty interesting. What else can we expect?
Yes, hi Jack. So today the high was 82 degrees and the low was 57, and right now it feels like 71. There was a 64% chance of, but humidity. The gust of wind was 13 miles per hour. No, okay. Saturday, the high is going to be 70 and the low is going to be 57, and it's going to be partly cloudy. On Sunday, there's going to be some rain with a high of 86 and a low of 63. Next. And this is our 7-day outlook. As you can see, this week it's going to be really cloudy and rainy, except for Tuesday, where it's going to be mostly sunny. This week is going to be mainly in like the 70s, and the lows are going to be more towards the 60s. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of rain this week. Yeah, back to the anchors.
Thank you so much, Kelly. And right now we're just getting new information. The Pope is currently making his way through Central Park, which is pretty exciting. And this is probably one of the biggest crowds that he'll encounter while in the United States. And also they're restricting the amount of people who can be in Central Park currently, which is very interesting as well. And anyway, currently Raleigh Hampson has the latest update on sports. Last night the Redskins played but lost. But I think they did pretty well in that fourth quarter, Raleigh. They kind of rallied a little bit, but still didn't make it quite all the way.
Yeah, the fourth quarter was a bit of a step up. But as we see in the third week of the NFL, if we can go to the next slide, they played my Giants, James's Giants, my dad's boss's Giants, and they bossed the Redskins 32-21. This was essentially for the bottom spot when it came to points against in the NFC East division, and of course, as you see, the Giants won. There was a blocked punt in the first quarter, which was pretty awesome to watch because it ended in a safety. So as you know, you football fans, that's 2 points. And from then on, it pretty much just escalated. I almost said the Ravens. The Redskins had a pretty good rally in the late second half, but as you can see, it was not enough for week 3. And if we go to the next slide, we go to varsity for Herndon High School football. They played the J.E.B. Stewart, I believe it's the Rebels, and they beat them 30-13. I heard it was a really good game to watch if you're a Herndon fan. There were quite a few turnovers, and just the general play of the Hornets was really good. And then, the next week, September 18th, we played the Jaguars, the Falls Church Jaguars, and it was an all-touchdown game. It was 28-14, pretty well fought out. And if we go to the next slide, tonight at 7 at Chantilly High School, it's a pretty big game going on. We play the Chargers. It's here?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness, I'm so sorry. It's at Herndon. I'm so sorry about that, folks. Just forget that. It's like versus Chantilly High School at Herndon. So be there or be square. And let's go throw it on over to Jack, who I think now, are we going to Jack asking?
No, we're not going there quite yet, Raleigh, but that is coming up
All
soon.
right, and it is interesting that you pointed out the Chantilly game tonight. Later on, I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about the vandalism that occurred at Herndon High School by the very own Chantilly High School.
Well, that's assuming. I mean,
Assuming. I mean,
no,
they left
they
a
wrote
little
that. They wrote that. But it could have been
CHS.
any-
But so we're gonna get to that later. But first off, we just want to do a quick introduction for Kelly.
Hi.
So Kelly, you're a freshman. So tell us
Yes.
a little bit about yourself or what classes you're taking.
I'm just taking the normal classes, only one honor, and that's history, but yeah.
And do you have any
nothing exciting.
interest in like media or?
Well, I'm really into like theater and acting, so
And your brother is like
yeah,
behind the scenes.
scenes.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
this is James. You've seen James in a couple of episodes, including the I think about the anniversary one. James is
Yeah.
a part of it. And James is usually our floor manager. He's actually there right now, over there right now. So that's
Thumbs up.
very good. There he is. And but Kelly, we're so glad to have you. And over these next couple of weeks, we may be having some other new faces join us as well, which should be pretty exciting.
Which is gonna be fun.
That's very good. All right, so our first topic is dress code.
Again.
And okay, so this is kind of a general topic. I mean, it's been debated a lot, not just recently, but it was also a big deal earlier this year. Once, like when it was transitioning from the winter to the spring and the summer, when people last year were starting to wear less clothing, I guess, if that makes sense, like shorts, t-shirts. That was, I
Right.
mean, that was a huge thing going on, and it's being brought up again.
Yeah, so that's very, very interesting as well. Let's first take a look. There's this one girl named Isabel Hamak. I don't know.
Hammock.
Okay, or that. But she is a South Lake student, and she talks about. We're not going to read the whole thing, but we can pull that up full screen if you'd like. And she talks about how she felt violated because someone asked. We're going to show the picture in a second, but a teacher or a security administrator asked her to change her shirt just because she was not wearing
Security
a bra.
asked in the middle, like the security in the paragraph, she says was walking around the classroom and then asked her to step outside because her shirt was not transparent or sheer, but the material was very thin. So, and she was not wearing a bra, so it was revealing, I suppose. I mean, it wasn't necessarily revealing skin, but
Right.
she was called out for it being considered inappropriate. So if we can go on to the next image, so that way she posted this on her own Facebook, by the way. I'm not sure if we're gonna get that picture up, but anyway, what do you guys think? I mean, there's nothing in the.
There it is.
All right. Yes.
So here's the picture. Let's pull it up full screen. We didn't want to make it because it was a little bit obvious. And we didn't know if anyone would be offended, but we were all talking about, are we offended or are we distracted by this wearing? And I personally do not feel distracted. I just think it's just a personal choice that you have to make.
And the dress code nowhere says that you have to wear a bra. There are restrictions on showing shoulders, and I mean shorts cannot be too short, that sort of thing. But nowhere does it say anything about,
Right.
what you wear under. I mean, men obviously don't have problems with bras like women do. But I mean, the question is, do you think it's appropriate or not? I mean, what do you think that it was all right for her to Raleigh, oh my gosh. Do you think that it was okay for this security guard to call her out on
I think
that?
it was okay for him to call her out because I see where it could be distracting to some people, but you should know to wear a bra. It's just kind of like...
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. Like, it's not, I don't know. What do you think, Mark? I mean, obviously we're women. I mean, we have to do. I mean, there are just certain things that we do that we prefer. Some people, prefer. I mean, there was a whole movement. I don't know if it's still going on called Free the Nipple. I mean, just like women just not wearing bras because they feel like that they don't need to. And I mean, they're kind of uncomfortable. So I mean, some people just don't wear it.
First, I'd like to say I will never be in this position to like understand what it's like to wear a bra. But I'd say that going off what Kelly said, I think it was appropriate for the security guard to call her out because, granted, it doesn't say anything in the dress code, but it's like kind of almost expected in a way, like.
But see, I know what you're saying. I mean, there are uniform standards usually, like people are expected to dress a certain way, but I mean, it's also, women shouldn't feel like they're being targeted or
I know they shouldn't be doing that. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that there's like you need like it's almost expected in a way to like wear it. Like I'm not.
This is obviously a very awkward topic.
No,
Okay.
I don't like can't shoot because I don't know. I've never like. But
if it is too revealing, if you consider it too revealing and it's distracting, I mean, Raleigh, oh my goodness.
He's gonna keep doing that.
Yes. Okay, you're obviously not comfortable talking about that, but that's totally fine. I think that this is just something that people are kind of getting used to, and I think that people should be getting used to it because a lot of girls these days are acting out and against people,
right, and
constantly telling them that they cannot wear certain things.
And one thing I find interesting is I don't feel bothered by it or distracted by it, and I don't think Mark does either.
I'm not bothered by it.
But I think it's interesting how you guys are more disturbed by it than we are, which I think is an interesting fact.
Yeah.
Is it maybe because, you try putting yourself in that position and you just don't see that? Or I'm just trying to figure out,
You don't, if you saw someone dressed like that, you wouldn't.
I would obviously notice that.
I would notice,
care?
but it's
No,
like
I
you
don't
wouldn't
care.
know if you
that's a
say
personal
something.
choice that they can make, and everyone has their personal choices in life. Is it blinding to the eye? No. Is it distracting? Not really.
Yeah.
I just don't think that it should be this big of a deal. Is my point.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Overreact.
Of course, it's not something that I'm used to seeing, but it's not that big of a deal to me, and I don't think that. Since it's not part of the dress code, I don't think it was reasonable.
And this post had 24,000 likes on Facebook and 19,000 shares. So there's obviously people who show a concern. Kelly, I want to bring you into this. What do you think? How do you feel about it?
I understand where you're coming from, how it's like her personal choice, but people should know that like it's kind of a necessity to wear a bra. It's like.
But it's not.
It is,
recently,
but it isn't.
In the 70s, I was talking to Miss Rose about this. It was fashionable to not wear a bra. And is that coming back? I don't know. And should people make a big deal out of it? I don't think so.
Right.
Go
ahead, Mark.
I agree with you that people should make a big deal about it. I think the reason why people are making a big deal about it is like, I think in today's society, people, it's like they don't want to like publicly see like any like it's like sex imagery, like in the movies, TV, sure, whatever. But I think that it's like it's overkill. It doesn't like there are things to worry about. This should not be one of them. It is a choice to wear a bra. If you don't want to wear a bra, that's fine. If you want to wear it, it's fine. I think we should just move on and it be the end of it.
Yeah, and right now what we're
agree.
looking at on the screen, which was right there, we can pull it back up if you'd like, but it was just talking about how a lot of people were in support of this girl the next day after she made this Facebook post, and all these, says, today was amazing. I want to thank all these beautiful women for supporting me after the sexist incident I faced yesterday from SLHS, South Lakes High School staff. We're not going to go down without a fight. Let your boobies be free.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it's actually very common, and
Yeah.
I think that it's totally fine. Like Mark said, it is a choice. You should not be forced to wear one. If you're covering yourself and you're dressing modestly, I mean, do that. If you don't want to dress modestly, it's honestly, it's your body. If you're comfortable with it, I mean, be yourself.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think.
Yeah.
Very interesting topic. All right, but let's move on to a different topic that hits more back at the Herndon High School. But the vandalism that has defaced the main sign of the Herndon High School.
And this is what we
I
were
never
talking about
noticed.
with supposedly Chantilly. So what happened, if we get a picture of it?
We decided not. We made an executive decision not to show the picture. But the picture basically said F Trump, and it had some genitals around it, and it said
And it was
CHS on the brick part.
Chantilly
I don't
High
understand
School.
where Trump comes into Herndon High School.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But I mean, this was on the sign,
main sign.
the main sign right outside of Herndon High School, and on the actual building of Herndon High School, a few places.
I
And
never
it was
noticed.
like on a traffic sign.
Yeah.
Right before you go.
So, I mean, so
Didn't this happen last year with South Lakes?
They were,
there
I
was
don't think they were
something.
vandalized. Were
There
they?
was vandalism on the field at Herndon High School. Someone, did we ever figure out which school that was? Battlefield, or was that actually
What
people from
defaced
Herndon High
the
School?
the
football
face
field?
last year,
Football.
yeah.
That was an inside job. That was
Okay.
someone from Herndon High
Inside
School
job.
who
Okay.
did that, which was unfortunate. And there was a warrant out for his arrest. I don't know the update if he ever got arrested.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so it was a big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, will this ever come to? Are there people? Do you know? Are there people? Is the police looking into this?
I'm
incident?
assuming,
Actively?
yeah, but I mean, I don't think this is something that's not easily accessible. There's not a lot of cameras stationed outside of the school, which definitely makes it difficult. But it's been a real problem. I mean, since we've been in high school, I remember there was the, spray South Lakes field, spray our field, back and forth kind of going on, and just kind of seemed like the graffiti and vandalism has been a common event
Yeah.
going on over the past
Yeah.
couple of years.
And I mean, I fully support the competition between the high schools, not in the rivalry way where
No.
it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna like do terrible things to you, but I mean, healthy competition, not
Yeah.
actually trying
Right.
to.
I like to point out, I agree that vandalism, of this matter, is illegal, should not be done, and I agree that there should be healthy competition between the two schools. But I think that this is not an isolated issue, kind of like what you guys were talking about last year. It's almost like natural for other schools to be in competition.
to act in this way. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's also
Even
because,
colleges do that.
because of a school sport. I mean, obviously there's a football game today, so the timing was particular. I mean,
Yeah.
if it was Chantilly,
And
we're
this
not
is all things that
completely
the
sure.
police will investigate.
Absolutely.
The timing, could it really be Chantilly High School, or is it just a smart person who knows that we're playing Chantilly if it was an inside job?
Or is
what?
it
And
just
they
someone
just-
who doesn't
They
like
just
Donald
felt
Trump?
like
Yeah, well, that's,
felt like it.
yeah.
Oh.
So very interesting. Good talk, everyone. I'm not going to go over to the other studio because we have a new segment. It's new, but it's kind of revived. It's Jack asking. Let's move the cameras over here. I'm coming over here. Over here. Hello? Is there a camera on me? There's a camera. There we go.
Over
All right,
there.
camera
No,
one.
it's still
All right,
not.
all right.
It's still on
Oh,
us.
still on you? Okay, is it on me? All right, good. There we go. All right, well, stay there because I want to talk to you guys because I know we had a lot to talk about. But this is Jack asking, and before we do anything else, I want to first explain the name. I'm not going to make it quite literal because this is local television and we don't want to be too profane. Okay, Jack, that's my name, correct? Asking. Okay, did everyone get that? Jack asking. Okay. And one of our ideas was that maybe we should make someone the king each time. Maybe someone could be the king, you're just the king, Jackass King, Yeah, that's right, Mark. Anyway, all right, so before I air this piece, I'm going to show you, because it's kind of hard to see throughout the whole piece, the different images that we showed, because a lot of times people grabbed it because they want to see it. But, all right, so here is one of the images we showed. This is, I'm giving the correct answers first. This is Pope Francis, and obviously it's a big deal because he was in town this week, which is very interesting. A lot of people thought it was Pope Benedict, who's the old pope. He hasn't been the pope for some time now, which was interesting, I thought. And all right, so that was one. Here's the second image. Now, here, I'm going to give you a second to look at the image. This image is the Supreme Court building. And I'm hearing, yes, Mark, do you agree? That
Yes.
Would you have gotten at least this one right?
Yes.
Emily, Kelly, what would you have done? Would you said
not.
that? Probably not.
I mean, I've been to DC so many times, and there's so many buildings that look
Yeah.
similar.
Isn't that the
So,
building on the
yeah.
$10 bill?
Well, a lot of people thought that this had Abraham Lincoln in it, but if we zoom in, there's no Abraham Lincoln. All right, I just want to make that clear. There was no Abraham Lincoln. This was not the Lincoln Memorial. So sorry, but you got that wrong. Okay. I mean, if you look again, not Lincoln Memorial-ish, but that's okay because everyone makes mistakes. No Lincoln. All right, here's the next picture, and this was kind of related to the other picture. But here's these people. Some people said they were priests. Some people said that this was Congress. It's actually the Supreme Court justices, okay? So I didn't ask the people to name each one of them. I just asked them, who are these people? Okay. Another question, another picture we showed was the time, was the clock. All right, this is actually an emoji clock, and we said, oh, that's perfect when we were in our pre-planning meetings. It didn't have any numbers. But the real time is 2:30 on this clock. A lot of people said it was 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Maybe they thought it was upside down, but we made sure it was showed in this position, not upside down. But if it was upside down, it would have been maybe like 7, 8 o'clock, I don't know. But that's interesting. 5:45. Another question we asked was, where is the Virginia State Capitol located? And the answer was, first, it was Richmond. Someone said it was up here. Now, last time I checked, Richmond was not in Northern Virginia, but I don't know. A lot of people thought it was these two. No one thought it was here, which I thought was interesting. This is the Norfolk, Virginia beach area. But most people got it here, but I was surprised about the other places too. And some people knew the location but didn't know the name, which was also very interesting. Now, this one is debatable, and you'll see this, but it asked what state, we asked what state is to the west of Virginia? And you would think west of Virginia, West Virginia, right? Just take out the of. Well, a lot of people said Tennessee. Now, is it west?
Southwest.
Yeah,
Southwest.
it's west, but there's nowhere you can stand in Virginia.
It's not
and it
definitive
could be,
west.
Huh?
It's not definitively west.
It's not, but you can't stand anywhere in Virginia, which is my point, and say that it is west. There's no point in Virginia that you could stand and say,
even
oh,
if you're like
Tennessee is
right
to
at the
west.
border, you still can't say it's west.
Right, but West Virginia is here-ish, and you could have said that that was the correct answer, which was very interesting. Kentucky? Kentucky could have been an answer we took, or West Virginia.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was, Anyway, so that's that. So I want you to look for these different pictures, but we also asked verbal questions as well. This is similar to the jaywalking segment that I think aired on the spinoff back a couple years ago. So that's very interesting. Let's take a look, and I hope you enjoy. How many stripes are on the American flag?
Oh my gosh, like 36, 26?
0.
Kelsey, what's this building?
Looks like something Greek, but I think it's the Abraham Lincoln's in it.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln. That's really close, Kelsey.
Lincoln Memorial.
No, not exactly.
Is it really not? That's the Capitol. That's the Capitol. Washington. Abraham Lincoln is in this. Stop.
No, there's no. Who is known as the father of this country?
Abraham Lincoln.
Name a body of water that is west of California.
West of California. Isn't that like the Atlantic Ocean? What's this building?
Lincoln Memorial. Lincoln Memorial.
What is it?
The Lincoln Memorial.
Memorial. No? It's the Supreme Court building.
I thought I saw Abraham Lincoln in that joint. I thought I saw Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln was definitely in there.
Sorry, let's go to a different one. Who is Lindsey Graham?
Here's Lindsey Graham.
Alexander Graham's wife.
She's a model.
How many stripes are on the United States flag?
7 red, 7 white. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. 13. Go. 13. 13. Yeah.
question. Okay, Latin. Latin. They say Latin. What building is this? It's in Washington, D.C. Lincoln Memorial. Lincoln Memorial. The Jefferson Memorial. I don't know. What state is on the west of Virginia? What state is on the west of Virginia? Tennessee. Tennessee. And there are 50 stripes on the United States flag.
No,
Shakespeare wrote in which language?
he wrote in trap.
He wrote in a vernacular language.
No.
He like changed it to vernacular.
It was Old English, like writings and stuff. Old English and the scriptures and everything.
The answer is sign language.
It's Roman. It's Roman.
Shakespeare was English, so he obviously spoke. That's a white hat. No, wait, no, that's not.
Pantheon. Abraham Lincoln Memorial.
Hey, check out my SoundCloud.
Mixtape at Austin Skinner. It's the Lincoln Memorial, right? Or the
Steve Harvey. No. Pope Benedict XVI. Pope John Paul.
No, the new pope. Who's the new pope?
Is that John?
Edmund Burke. Just kidding.
Isn't that Pope Benedict?
No, he's gone.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know.
The Pope is the new dude. Pope Francis. Pope Francis. Shakespeare wrote in which language? Latin, I would guess. I have no idea. What building is this? Looks like the Capitol.
What's this logo?
Oh, ABC?
All right, and what's the capital of Virginia?
Richmond?
Can you locate that on the map for me?
Maybe. If I try. I believe it's that one or that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
No? This one. Dang it.
A hexagon has how many sides?
9?
Yeah, okay, close. What's this place?
Is that the Lincoln Memorial?
Locate Richmond on this map.
Right there.
What is this building? What's this building?
The White House.
No. Abraham Lincoln's home. Abraham Lincoln's house. Abraham Lincoln's memorial.
Wait, I got one.
What's the Pope Francis?
Francis.
Francis.
Francis. No, that's not his name. I'm Catholic. I don't even know who this is.
Pope Benedict. Pope Benedict.
Pope Francis.
I was right.
Good luck, guys. To Virginia's west.
Tennessee.
Shakespeare wrote in which language? Shakespeare wrote in which language? That's a good question. I do not know.
Take a guess.
Latin. I don't know. How many stripes are on the American flag?
13. Oh, there's 13 of each color. I don't know. Stars, 26.
What is the capital of Virginia?
Washington, D.C. Oh.
Richmond. Yeah.
Richmond!
How many stripes are on the American flag? 15. Who's that?
The Pope.
What's the Pope's name?
Pope Benedict. Pope Paul. Pope John Paul. Pope John. Pope John. Pope John Paul.
Who are those people?
Priests.
Emma, what time is it?
It's currently 3 o'clock.
She was close.
2 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Are we going to be on the live television? 2 o'clock. 2:30.
Say a wise word.
Hi, Mom.
What time is it right now in California?
I wouldn't know.
If it's 5 o'clock here, let's say.
Like 11, I think.
11 in the morning?
I don't know.
How about these? Who are these people?
Give it. Come on. You know what? I don't know.
You don't know? Do you want to take a guess? The group. Yeah, not the people. I don't need you to name each individual people. Is it Congress? Is it the president's cabinet? What are you thinking?
I don't know. Congress, I guess.
Congress? How about the Supreme Court justices?
I felt like it was the Supreme Court, but I didn't see it.
What time is this?
It's like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock.
1 o'clock or 2 o'clock?
That's the Capitol.
No! That is the Supreme Court!
Where is the Panama Canal located?
Oh, that's in between Mexico and South Africa.
Why does each year have 365 days and 24 hours?
Daylight savings.
All right, ready? Hi, this is Thor subbing for Jack. Welcome to Herndon Live. I'm here with
Hi, I'm Ryan.
Judy,
Eli.
Ben, and Daniel. All right, I'm gonna ask you guys some questions. Whoever has it first can answer. Is the president's first name, and can you spell it out?
Damn it.
P-A-R-R-A-C-K. Shakespeare wrote in what language? Vernacular. Vernacular. What is this?
Eiffel Tower. Oh, wait, never mind. The White House.
No.
The Capitol Building.
Incorrect.
The Lincoln Memorial.
Incorrect.
Congress.
Incorrect. How many stars are on America's flag?
51. 51.
All right. Thank you guys for watching Herndon Live from the Herndon versus Falls Church. We are winning 28-6. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Hey It's Thor.
What's up?
Let's go, Herndon. See you next Friday, or whatever Friday is. New host, Sarah Kahn.
All right, well, we had some interesting people today. Very interesting indeed, including my special thank you to my guest host, Nor, and these nice people over here. And it's also a special guest. Thank you to Megan and Kelsey, and a lot of other people, Allie Casseray including. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Good night. All right, well, that was just
jackassing.
great. That was good.
That's a very popular segment, so we're probably going to be doing that pretty frequently. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch. I mean, interesting. So those of you who want to be on the next Jack Asking, you better
Tweet at us or let us know. We're gonna
study your basic information.
Well, that's the first thing, because we're gonna come up with some good questions too. I mean, some of the questions, some of my favorite highlights were, what state or where's the Panama Canal located in between Mexico and South Africa? That was interesting. Don't know. Maybe it's like maybe they meant the Atlantic Ocean. Maybe they thought that was it. Mark?
I flew over the Pacific Ocean to get to Italy.
No, the one who said that the Atlantic Ocean
was west of California.
And also 50 stripes on the American flag.
50 stripes, 51 stars.
Oh, my favorite was the
Kelly?
teacher saying there was 14 of each color on the flag.
Yes.
Yeah,
My favorite was there was this one guy who
Raleigh.
who said, there was this one guy who said,
She was a basketball
was
coach.
like, oh, I thought I saw Lincoln there. Like, did he move? Did a statue of Lincoln just like walk up and
I swear I saw Lincoln in that job.
I mean, probably
I swear
people
I
watching
see him.
can't hear the people
He
talking
wrote
in the
in
room.
trap,
But anyway,
It was very interesting.
popular segment. Anyway, so our next show, I believe, we're not.
Yeah, we have some graphics coming up. Let's move on. I don't have my iPad, so I don't have control of the graphics. But we have a very special edition of Herndon Live coming up for you in 2 weeks, and this is a programming note. It's the Herndon Hornets. Let's put this up full screen. The Herndon Hornets versus the South Lake Seahawks, and we're actually going to be there. We'll be anchoring. We'll be probably doing some more Jack Asking, which will be exciting.
So so we are going to be at the game.
Right.
Doing interviews and that sort of thing, recording some of the game.
Right.
But also, since we're going to be recording it on Friday, it will be airing the next day, Saturday, most likely.
Yeah, and we don't know what I think this has 5, but we don't know what time it is.
So if we interview you, tune in the next day to see yourself on TV. And,
and so this is super exciting. So we're really excited for everyone to join us. And once again, we'll be at the South Lakes game next week. It's South Lakes at South Lakes High School at 6 p.m. We'll be kind of starting our filming around there, and I believe the game starts at either 7 or 7:30. But that should be, I think, a lot of fun and pretty exciting as well.
Definitely.
Well, we thank you all for watching so much. I am Jack Norcross.
And I'm Emily.
And we want to remind you to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube. And you can head over to hctv.org for more information at any time.
Yep.
And we hope you have a great weekend. And we will, once again, we'll be off next week, but we'll be on Saturday for a special Herndon Live from South Lakes High School. So that should be exciting.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. And thank you, Kelly, again, our new correspondent. And we hope to see you in the near future. Thank you and good night.
All right. Night.